Hey guys, welcome back to Playing in Politics. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to talk about something a little bit more personal, which is not like me for this channel, but what I'm going to say I think is very important and does relate, I think, to the message that I try and spread on this channel and also what I try and advocate for in my personal life. Please do stay till the end, and if you find this video helpful or think that it would help anyone else that you know in your life, then please like and share this video, because I think it is really, really important what I'm about to say. But before I get into that, I just want to acknowledge a couple things that have been happening in terms of current affairs. Obviously, we've had a sort of victory in terms of the migrant crisis. Obviously, the Bell Hotel in Epping in Essex is now being evicted in the next 2 weeks, which is a small victory, I think, for the protesters. Well, it's a big victory for the locals because they're getting removed out of the community, but it's only a small win for the migrant crisis because, as Robert Jenrick very well said on his Twitter, which, by the way, he is the only thing that brings me hope about the Conservative Party, and he's probably the only reason why I'm going to Conservative Party conference this year. But that's a separate conversation. But as he said on his Twitter, basically, you know, the one thing that we can't do is now move those migrants just to another community. Like, they do have to be detained and deported, which again we know is a widespread issue that is ongoing, and we hope to see some real change with that in the future. Obviously, Keir Starmer and Downing Street are probably going to be panicking about this, although apparently they're more concerned with having meetings about putting UK troops on the ground in Ukraine, even though that I fully believe, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, that that is not our fight. We need to leave that to Donald Trump, because he's doing a lot better job than Keir Starmer and his government could ever do. And plus, we just don't have the resources. No point. Stop trying to match up to Donald Trump. You are nowhere near Starmer. Calm down, go have a drink. And speaking of Ukraine and Trump, obviously, like, he's doing a lot more progress in terms of trying to get peace deals over there, and I pray that that goes well. Obviously, it's not exactly been the smoothest sailing so far, but I'm sure we can do a whole episode about the progress that's being made there, and I'm sure we'll have some updates by the time it gets to next week. That's probably going to be next week's topic, is that whole situation. But yeah, so to get on to what I really wanted to talk about in today's video. Now, if you watched my last video, you know that I was in London last week, primarily for Maya Tucci's new media conference, and I'll put the few clips that I filmed on that day on the screen, because it was a very, very successful day. As I said in that video, as I've said before that video, and as I'm going to say now, Maya, I am so proud of you. That was such a monumental thing for the new media movement and the revolution that's currently happening, and I could not be more proud of him. As I say, it was fantastic to see all of these people gathered together. Even if we had Benjamin Butterworth from who was representing the mainstream media, who is obviously more left-wing, who, by the way, in person is lovely, and everyone said the same. You know, we think that he's a lefty nutter, when in reality he's very down-to-earth and he's just a lovely guy. You can't hate him, really. It's politics, but you know, in person he's lovely. And, you know, and it kicked off a little bit with Dan Wootton and Andrew Gold. If you know, you know. But overall, it was a brilliant, brilliant event, and as I say, it was so lovely to see everybody together who was fighting for the same thing, who was there for the new media conference to, you know, down with the mainstream media. You know, this fight against the establishment is so thriving now, and it is beautiful to see, and I can't wait to see what Maya Tucci does with all of this in the future. I know he's got great plans ahead for the expansion of his channel, and we'll see the updates with that. Maybe I'll have some updates as well, we'll see. But yeah, just wanted to say, in terms of that event, fantastic. As I did explain in that video though, I went for basically the whole week. I wasn't there just for that conference, and this is the point where I just want to make a personal thank you to the moderators of Maya Tucci's Discord server. You know who you are, because I think regardless of what we're fighting for on a bigger scale, we are still people. There are still domestic situations happening within these communities that perhaps you're part of in terms of the patriotic movement. And the point that I want to come across, like the point I want to put across here is, yes, we're all fighting for the same thing, but we still have to look out for each other on a personal level. I'm sure because we're all on the internet, and I know the patriotic movement often comes with a lot of online communities. Me personally, I'm on Discord, and I've mentioned my Juicy's Discord server before on this channel, and it has been over the past sort of 5 or 6 months has been a great source of friendship and community and connection building on quite a personal level. I'm not going to go into this too much because it is still quite fresh, and I plan at some point on making a video on my main channel which kind of goes more in depth into kind of the details of why I'm mentioning this, really. Even though, as I say, you're meeting people who might have the same political views as you, and you might be making some really good connections, at the end of the day this is still the internet, and people can still be deceptive and can still be trying to trick people, and as I say, there are situations that can go on. Just basically be careful is what I'm trying to say. Still be careful about the people you're meeting on the internet, but just be careful overall, regardless of everything. You know, the one thing about community is it brings people together, and it means that we get to look out for each other, and I think that is so important that we do look out for each other on a personal level, regardless of politics, because at the end of the day our personal lives do still matter, and our personal safety and our emotional well-being and just overall well-being still does matter an awful lot. Yeah, it's difficult to kind of portray what I'm trying to say without going into details because it is still very fresh. It has been a bit of a struggle over the past kind of couple of weeks, since the last night of that London trip. Things kind of blew up on my face a little bit, and my life kind of got turned upside down in a bit of a way. As I say, I don't normally talk about personal things on this channel, so it's taken me a while to kind of recover from that, and I'm still trying to sort of find my feet, but I know that I'm going to come back stronger. Regardless of everything that's been happening behind the scenes in my personal life, this channel has grown exponentially. You know, as I said in my last video, this is the first channel I've ever had in my over 10 years of being on YouTube, almost 13 years. It'll be 13 years, no it won't, it'll be 12 years on the 5th of September, sorry. Getting ahead of myself there, yeah, it'll be 12 years on the 5th of September since I uploaded my first video to this platform ever, not specifically this channel obviously when I was 12, but you know, in terms of just starting my career on YouTube, and this is the only channel, as I say, that's managed to hit 1,000 subscribers, which is something I'm so incredibly proud of myself for. And regardless of all the associations that I might have with it because of what's been going on in my personal life, I'm still so proud of myself for building this, and I still hold this little new media channel, I guess, very close to my heart, and I do intend to continue with this. So if if you're wondering why this video is a little bit all over the place, that's why, essentially. Yeah, shit happens. But I do want to just thank the people on my Juicy's Discord server who have been there for me this past week, and especially when everything first kicked off, who've had my back and know the truth of what happened, and have really proven to me why communities and why like-minded people coming together is so important, because we get to look out for each other, as I said, and it is so important that we do, because as I say, at the end of the day we are still humans with personal safety, especially women entering these circumstances. You know, things happen. Things can happen sometimes where we just require a little bit of extra support and people rallying around us, and that's what I've had this past week, and as I say, I'm so incredibly grateful for that. And yeah, this is kind of just the reminder to be there for each other, because that's what this movement is all about really. Politics aside, and politics involved, we are trying to come together as a country, and we should be coming together for each other as well on a personal level. So yeah, I know this video has been a bit all over the place, as I say, a little bit cryptic in some ways, and I do plan on talking about things a little bit more in depth on my main channel eventually, once the dust has settled and I feel comfortable talking about it. But hope you're all doing well. As I say, in my next real episode of the podcast, which I'm hoping it will, I'll be doing my makeup as normal, and we'll be having a good old chinwag. Hopefully we'll probably be talking about what's going on in Ukraine, unless anything else happens in the next sort of few days that I want to talk about. Make sure to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss that, and also the YouTube shorts that I do. Sometimes I do little breaking news shorts and things if I want to talk about something really quickly, not necessarily on the podcast, but yeah, as I say, if you take anything away from this video, do share it with people that you know. Do, as I say, leave this a like, and I hope that this resonated with the people it needs to resonate with. As I think it's like, those who get it, like, if you know, you know, kind of situation. But yeah, just wanted to send that personal thank you because it's been rough. It has been really rough. But I'm okay now. I'm finding my feet. I love this channel. I love you guys. And let's continue this fight and make sure that we are sticking by each other when we need to. So I will see you guys in the next video.